Why I reject the Bible's origin story. As a black man who knows our history. Brought to you by Never Suppressed, published and presented by Baldy's music group. You ever sit and wonder how the story got written? How they told us who we were before we even had a chance to remember? They said we came from Ham, but our roots ran deeper than the ink could reach. We were the black-headed people, building cities before their words ever found paper. First, language matters, the Sumerians, among the oldest recorded civilizations in Mesopotamia, called themselves the black-headed people. That's their self-name in their own text. In other words, organized black-headed peoples existed long before anyone wrote a story claiming the whole world came from one post-flood family. What the Bible actually says, these three were the sons of Noah, and of them was the whole earth overspread. By these were the nations divided in the earth after the flood. Ham's line, Cush, Mizraim, Phud, Canaan, after their families, their tongues, their nations. Tower of Babel, one language until God confuses it and scatters the people. Here's the problem. History doesn't fit that map. Civilizations like Ta-Seti, Cush, Meroe, and Kemet were building states, charting stars and writing Medu Neter long before those flood and tower narratives were compiled. The Sumerians, the black-headed people, also predate those claims. We did begin in someone else's genealogy. We already were. Languages didn't start at Babel by the time Mesopotamia raised ziggurats. There were thousands of distinct languages across Africa and Asia. A single tower episode can't explain the age and spread of those language families. Africans was weaponized later. The text itself curses Canaan. But later European theologians stretched that into Ham Africa to justify slavery and a racial hierarchy that read and served empire, not truth. And there's the logic problem, Adam and Eve. Two humans seek knowledge and are punished. That act becomes original sin. Centuries later, God so loves the world, He sends an only begotten Son to wash away a guilt tied to seeking wisdom. Yet suffering and sin persist. How does punishing curiosity, knowledge of self, become humanity's moral foundation? How does a one-time sacrifice erase an inherited stain that obviously remains? The math never added up. So when a text says every nation came from Noah's three sons, says languages began at Babel, and later interpreters label Ham as Africa to control and degrade us, while Sumerians, Ta-Seti, Cush, Meroe, Kemet stand in plain sight, older than the storyline. I won't pretend that fits. And somewhere along the line, the ones who couldn't read were told what to believe. Scriptures became shackles. Truth dressed in fear, wrapped in obedience. Why you think they tell you not to question God's word? Why they say doubt is sin? Because a mind that questions is a mind that's free. They couldn't afford free minds, so they gave us faith without knowledge and called it holy. But I read for myself now, and I remember what they wanted me to forget. Before the flood, before the fall, before the ink and the empire, we were already divine, already whole, already free.